What's the biggest problem facing public schools? Money. That's what everyone says. Lack of money.
At this California rally, teachers told us schools need much more money.
There's nothing that money can't fix.
In Massachusetts, parents baked cookies and sold all sorts of things.
To raise money for a school system that is desperately trying to make ends meet.
More money, please, say the South Carolina school officials.
How much money would be right?
How much? Ooh, millions. And it would really make it right.
They're spending $10,000 per kid now. $15,000? $20,000?
$20,000, $25,000, $30,000. The more the better.
The more the better. That was the thinking years ago when a judge ordered more must be spent on Kansas City schools. So they did. $2 billion more. Kansas City built this Olympic-sized swimming pool, state-of-the-art gyms with indoor track, these computer labs, and more. They had so much money that when they wanted to bring in more white kids, they didn't just bus them.
The Kansas City district used about 120 taxis.
But the result of all this spending on student achievement? It got worse. By 2000, Kansas City schools failed to meet any of the state standards, and they lost their accreditation.
If money were the solution, the problem would already be solved.
Jay Green is the author of Education Myths.
We've doubled per pupil spending, adjusting for inflation, over the last 30 years, and yet schools aren't better.
Adjusted for inflation?
Adjusted for inflation. We now spend more than $10,000 per pupil per year.
Here's a graph of the increased spending. The line goes straight up, but student achievement, flat. Graduation rates, flat. The extra money didn't help the kids.
How can that be? More money but no results? It's a lot of money. Think about it, $10,000 per student. For a classroom of 25, that would be $250,000 per year. Where does the money go? It certainly isn't all going to teach the kids.
In Orange County, California, Jennifer Beal's kids have been learning in portable buildings like this, while her school district spending $35 million to build a new building. Not for the kids, it's for administrators.
It's insane. We call it the Taj Mahal. It's so enormous and overwhelming.
You can give public schools all the money in America and it will not be enough. Everyone has been conned. I'm not doing it today, okay?
Ben Chavis is a former public school principal who now runs this alternative school that spends thousands of dollars less per student. He laughs at the public school's complaints about money.
They all say it's the answer.
No, it's not.
We just need a little more money.
That is the biggest lie in America. They waste money.
To save, Chavis asked the students to do things like keeping the grounds picked up and setting up for lunch.
We don't have full-time janitor. We don't have security guards. We don't have computers. We don't have a cafeteria staff. Thanks, Dom.
There's no pool or world-class gym.
Hey, on your mark, get set, go!
For gym class, his students often just run laps around the block.
If you come to school, you're going to have the advantage over everyone else.
It means there's more money left over for teaching.
Is that a complete sentence or a fragment?
Even spending less money per student, Chavis pays his teachers more than public school teachers get. His school also thrives because the principal gets involved. Chavis shows up at every classroom and uses gimmicks like small cash payments for perfect attendance.
Do you come to school for the money or do you come to school to get an education? Education. And the money.
Since he took over 4 years ago, this school has gone from being among the worst in Oakland to being the best. His middle school has the highest test scores in the city.
You've boosted the scores from where they were by spending less money.
It's not about the money.
But what about kids who've come from broken families, poor families?
Give me the poor kids, and I will outperform the wealthy kids who live in the hills. And we do it.
PR.
Other spunky independent schools do well with less money, like this one in South Carolina run by Teresa Middleton. We saw that the kids here were enthusiastic about learning.
My children are so excited. Can we play this today? Can we do popcorn? Can we do relay math? Can we play bingo? Can we play phonics around the world? Learning should be fun.
And fun seems to teach. These first graders can read.
Get ready to work.
I've had 3-year-olds sounding out words. My below average child can go to public school and make the honor roll.
Yet she spends only $3,000 per child versus the $9,000 South Carolina's public schools spend, and still fail to educate students like Dorian Kane.
My son is now 18, and he is not reading. He's on a 4th grade level, and it's a huge problem.
Do you want to take a shot at that?
Dorian struggles to read just one sentence in this 1st grade book.
One day, Uncle Jack came to visit.
He says he wants to learn to read.
You know, there is a whole world that can open up to you if you are able to read.
Yeah, I know that.
Did they try to teach you to read?
From time to time. But the test results back.
Gene has been after Dorian's schools for help for years.
You have to beg. You know, whatever you ask for, you're begging, because they have the power.
Now, they've had meetings with you to talk about your son.
Yes.
Here is one of them.
Good morning. I'm Fred Stevens, Director of Programs for Exceptional Children.
This is where some of the money goes to educational specialists, the Director of Programs for Exceptional Children, the school principal, a resource teacher, a gym teacher, the school counselor, and the district's special ed coordinator. But they hadn't done much for the boy who can't read.
Mr. Hay, have you had the opportunity to counsel with Dorian?
Well, first of all, I really hadn't had the opportunity to really counsel with him. I'll be frank with you.
The principal said Dorian was doing well.
I've seen great progress in him, so I don't have any concerns.
The meeting went on for 45 tedious minutes. Dorian looked defeated. His mother just kept raising the one issue that concerned her most.
The only issue I have is his reading level, and that's what's important to me.
All right, come on in and have a seat.
So we decided we'd send Dorian to a private learning center, Sylvan. Could they teach Dorian to read when the South Carolina public schools hadn't?
All right, click on OK for me.
You bet. After just 72 hours of instruction using computers and workbooks, Dorian's reading was up more than 2 grade levels. His mother loves the private program.
They're doing what they're supposed to do. They are on point, but I can't say the same for the public schools.
No, she can't. South Carolina, over 12 years, spent nearly $100,000 on Dorian's education, but they left him behind.
When we continue.